Good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Bullish Network. New asset class. I've been deep down the rabbit hole, and my rabbit hole has led me to believe that XLM and XRP are on the same team. And I will show you the connections, and I will show you guys the proof of the partnerships. Also, CFTC Chair US must lead this world with this new innovation, this new asset class. Calls for principle, not rules. Very good article here. And also, this past weekend, guys, all our hidden gems were pumping hard, up 70%. We will talk about that. Update on hidden gems. So, I'm not a financial advisor. If you guys can smash that thumbs up, hit that subscribe and notification bell, you will be notified when I release a video daily on this channel. I am not a financial advisor. New asset class. It's about time. Disruptive settlement technologies are coming to banks. The race is on to reinvent settlement as customer demands faster settlement times increase and new technologies come online. Banks are under pressure to meet their clients' heightened needs. It's been more than 20 years since the internet's arrival transformed the way people access information, manifested in search engines that deliver the world's information to our screens and fingertips instantaneously. However, although instant information transfers have become ingrained in people's lives, value transfer has fallen behind. While email, news, and independent movies can flash across the planet with a keystroke, settlement on cross-currency transactions still takes days. The lag is evident wherever you look, from institutional finance to retail. Well, guys, one thing I have been saying since day one in crypto, since 2017, is the traditional financial market is extremely excited about this new asset class, and blockchain technology. Real-time settlements, frictionless, permissionless, fees drop drastically. So they're really excited about this. Regulation is on the way, and we are going to talk about that today. But I thought this was a really good article. It's about time. Disruptive settlement technologies are coming. And I'm going to show you guys a little bit more about that in this article. I want to give a huge shout out to my brother, Deshaun, the Legend Goodwin. Huge shout out to Deshaun. I got this article from him. Ripple's ODL service goes live with GBP. Azimo confirms. Now, this kind of sent me down the rabbit hole. Ripple's ODL service goes live. 2020 has proved to be quite an unpredictable year. Due to the stagnated economic conditions, many immigrant workers have been unable to send walk-in remittances. However, with digital payments catching up, digital remittances have noted a rise. With the need for faster payment processors and need to exchange fiat emerging strongly, Ripple potentially activated another on-demand liquidity corridor to the United Kingdom. Ripple has established a relationship with Luxembourg-based Bitstamp and had been processing remittances in USD and Euro. As the exchange added support to the British pound sterling, there were speculations that the exchange launching the ODL service with a GBP XRP pair. And soon after it was announced the launch of the fiat currency on May 2020, the exchange at the time had noted that all fiat and cryptocurrencies on its platform will get an additional GBP pair, which led to the launch of the GBP XRP pair. And soon after which, XRP community was actively tracking any ODL transactions emerging from the country. Utility Scan, a tool used to identify daily transaction volumes in the active ODL corridors, tracked GBP ODL transactions. According to XRP Arcade, the creator of Utility Scan. I didn't know he created Utility Scan. Shout out to XRP Arcade. And ODL is live. So this is kind of amazing. Actually, guys, because we're starting to get more and more articles about ODL live. We actually have real utility, real corridors, MoneyGram, Bitso, Philippines, Mexico, and now ODL service goes live with GBP. Azimo confirms into the United Kingdom. Very interesting there. Now, I want to read this article right here. First, Bank of Korea announces legal advisory panel for CBDC. So Bank of Korea announces panel for CBDC. But I'm here to tell you guys, this is from Ripple Insights. Top Korean banks work with Japan Bank Consortium to modernize cross-border payments. And this is from Ripple Insights 2017, Rabbit Hole Time. The the Japan Bank Consortium, a coalition of 61 banks in Japan organized by SBI Ripple Asia, has announced the launch of a new Ripple pilot with Woorhoo Bank and Shinhan Bank, two of South Korea's largest banks. So, two of Korea's largest banks with a collective market cap of 30 billion. Now, we're working with Korea's largest banks already, and today it was announced that Bank of Korea announces CBDC. Now, this is kind of interesting right here, and this is going to lead me into our XLM XRP relationship. And I think this really rings true when we're working on a interoperable payment system. And I'm going to show you guys the proof of Ripple and Stellar on the same team. But first, I'm going to read this. I would push back against the characterization of this as a race. If it is considered a race, I think it would be a mistake for the United States because it has everything to lose by going too fast and getting this wrong. The winner of this is not who finishes first, and the loser of this is actually not who finishes last. Thinking about this in time dimension is the wrong way to analyze this. So when I read that really made me think just about the tribalism and, what companies are working with who. And that kind of is going to lead us down a rabbit hole in about one moment here. While Director of Products Ripple, Greg DeWeet, shared his opinions that the space requires patience with respect to regulatory aspect of digital assets. So interesting there. He noted that it wasn't important whether other countries regulated crypto until the United States also does it. And that's going to go into our CFTC Chair US must lead, which we'll get to that in one moment. But on our CKJ, Korea, China, Japan, South Korea's largest bank to launch a crypto custody service. Well, South Korea's largest banks are already working with Ripple. I just showed you guys that. And so that leads me to this right here. Let me go back one right here. Now, this is the article that pretty much tied Stellar and XRP together. Now, Ripple partners with Ghana fintech firm YE to bolster instant payments across Africa. Now, Ghana's YE Money service has seemingly teamed up with Ripple to bring instant cross-border settlements to millions of Africans in 3 countries. In a recent update, the bus is faster than bank transfer. Based in Guana Hip region, YE is a digital challenger bank working to bring financial inclusion to Africa, a region victimized by corrupt financial practices and infamously underbanked for its massive population. Now, YE has partnered with blockchain-based protocol Ripple to solve widespread problems. But if you look at this right here, and shout out to XRP or Leonidas right here. At press time, no additional details of the partnership exist online. But if you look right here where it says partners, what do we have? Loop, Stellar, and Ripple. So if you click on this right here, it's going to take you to their main website, YE, cross-border, cross-remittance, and payments in Africa. So a financial technology company providing cross-border and cross-network payments on our interoperable platform that connects with banks and mobile money operators and other digital payment providers from all over the world to serve Africa. Now, if you go down here, the benefits of cross real-time settlement, partners right here, Loop, Ripple, and Stellar, Ripple, Loop. And that's very interesting right there. And there's BitPeso. Actually, Bill Gates funded BitPesos and the 6 largest money transfer companies in Africa to all create an interoperable system. We did a video on that prior. But it's really interesting to see Stellar and Ripple as side-by-side partners partnered up with a company. This is like the first time I've seen this, and actually I believe we're going to see this a lot in the future. And if you recall the Crypto Dab tweet I just read, or I would push back against the as this is a race. It's considered a race. I think it would be a mistake. So Ripple, Stellar, same team, interoperability. And then I found this right here because I want to kind of check a little bit more on the Stellar relationship. 3 things you need to know about IBM's new partnership with Stellar. I'm not going to read this whole article. I will link it in the description. But yesterday, IBM announced the launch of WorldWire, a global payment system that connects banks. Now, I thought that was kind of interesting right there on the first line because people say, hey, Ripple's for banks and Stellar's for retail. But I believe that there's going to be Stellar and XRP is going to be like Visa and MasterCard. Of course, you got one product that has more bigger team, that has created more market share, has taken up more market share. But at the same time, I believe that there's going to be market share for all. Especially Stellar and XLM that's already laying the groundwork and foundation in the Internet of Value. The announcement emphasizes was on cross-border payments, and 6 international banks have signed letters of intent to create stable coins or digital currencies that don't fluctuate in value. So I thought that was kind of interesting right there. The factor here is it is inevitable inverse relationship between worldwide transfer and the speed of XLM. Even when banks use XLM to move money globally, Worldwire will automatically execute high-speed trades into and out of digital token on either end. So that pretty much explains to you right there the concept of what is coming. Pretty much, guys, you won't even know that you're using digital currencies in most cases. We will, but they won't. This matters because the token velocity is a big determinant in the price. The second factor is that XLM can be used to transfer on Worldwire. IBM is placing much more emphasis on stablecoins and even central bank issued digital currencies. We'll dig into that in a bit. Banks are basically conservative institutions, and Big Blue's track will make them much more confident. They're talking about the relationship with IBM. Now, though it cannot normally interact with many digital assets, Worldwire foregrounds fiat and stablecoins would at least sound like they're going to. Okay, so hold on. There was one more line here I wanted to read you guys really quick. It was pretty much just about the conversion of the assets. Note a Worldwire fundamentally very similar to Ripple's cross-border bank transfer service, RippleNet. Both use high-speed digital asset as a bridge between banks. So the immediate question is whether the Worldwire announcement is a threat to Ripple's plans for world domination. First, the good news is IBM already runs a lot of global bank infrastructure and now is co-signing Ripple's basic model. That might encourage more banks to consider joining the digital asset network for international transfers, and some of those might decide to use RippleNet. So pretty much, guys, you're going to have Ripple, you're going to have your XLM. Of course, we know MoneyGram, Bitso. Now XLM is with IBM and their consortium. They're done with the 6 banks, and now we just heard about the A coin that's launching on XLM. So pretty much, guys, I believe there's going to be an interoperable system. Will one of them have a bigger market share? Yes. But I look at it as Visa and MasterCard. And the Internet of Value, the opportunities are limitless. Also, really quick right here, guys. So far, IBM signed 6 banks. Now, so far, 3 banks have been identified. Philippines, which runs on Ripple and now runs on XLM. Brazil, Banco, which runs on Ripple and now XLM. And the Bank of South Korea. And then we already see top Korean banks run on Ripple right here. So pretty much it looks like XLM and XRP are gaining market share all over the globe. Now, I thought this was really interesting. Let me know what you guys' thoughts in that comment on that XLM, XRP, Visa, MasterCard. Is that how you guys look at it? Or let me know in the comments. But I also noticed something else really interesting here, guys. Now, this is Ripple right here. Payment network, customers, resources, board of directors, leadership, and strategic advisors. Now, this has been updated. If you go down here, Greg Phillips was not on here prior with this information, I believe. Greg Phillips, who brings more than 35 years of private and public sector experience to Ripple, having held senior roles at BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, and Credit Suisse. Recently, Greg served as a counselor to Secretary of Treasury Steven Mnuchin, where he oversaw the domestic finance. In that capacity, he led policy development for regulatory reform of the financial system under the Executive Order 13772. So that is a very big deal. Greg Phillips, who actually wrote the executive order with Steven Mnuchin, which is an executive order issued by the Trump administration, signed by Trump first 100 days in office to do away with the old financial system and create a new payment system. And Ripple is highlighted in that executive order. The whole executive order is about Ripple, I believe. So Greg Phillips right here, guys. Katawi. Ben Lawsky, the sheriff, the creator of the BIT license. Here's Ken Kirsten, who is actually really close with the Kushner Trump administration. And, of course, Brad Garlinghouse right here, Susan Anthony, and Chris Larson. One hell of a team right here. Leaderships right here, Dave Schwartz, Ashish Burla, Conan, Monica Long, John Mitchell, and Miss Hollers, and Ethan Beard, Marcus Treacher, I mean, Ron Will, good God, Eric Van Miltenberg, Stuart Alderley. I mean, the team is ridiculous. It's just like, wow, how can anybody doubt where this is going? I want to give a huge shout out to my brother, Tales from the Crypto. CFTC Chairman cautions against overly prescriptive rules for crypto. Very bullish right here. CFTC Chairman cautions. Chairman of the CFTC, Heath Tarbert, calls for principles rather than rules to dictate the government's handling of digital assets. And thank you, Big Time Tales from the Crypto. Link in the description. I highly recommend following Tales from the Crypto. In a framework published in Harvard Business Law Review on June 15th. Now, I did pull this up. I will link it in the description. It is a very long read. I will break it down, but it seems like Cointelegraph did basically a recap of it. Now, basically, the framework published in the Harvard Business Law Review on June 15, Heath Tarbert, chairman of the Commodities Future Trading Commission, broadly advocated financial regulation based on a broader principle rather than specific rules. The argument for principles is that the approach entails less red tape and ideally encourages innovation. Wow. Tarbert voiced desire to see CFTC stay ahead of the curve by reacting more quickly to changes in technology and in the marketplace. Wow. Rule of crypto and new tech and Tarbert's vision. Tarbert's argument cited that digital marketplace and cryptocurrencies in particular are areas where his preferred style of regulation would be especially valuable. Another area where principle-based regulation is generally appropriate is with respect to developments in financial technology, fintech, including blockchain and digital assets. Now, this is the head of the CFTC, which is basically one of the highest organizations of government, is in view that the United States must lead the world in this technology, and applying overly prescriptive rules could stunt the development of this important market, the CFTC chair. And the prior CFTC chair was Chris Giancarlo, Crypto Dad, and he said, I would push back against this as a race. And I thought that was kind of interesting right there because of the tribalism between XRP and XLM, which I believe, like I said, will be a reunion in the future. I believe that. Okay, guys, so here goes Harvard Business Law Review, which Harvard also invested in digital currency group. Harvard Endowment invested in digital currencies. Yale Endowment. CFTC backs crypto in a big way, and you guys are very familiar with Brian Brooks and what he's been up to. Okay, hidden gem news real quick. Bullish Network right here, guys. I also have a Bullish Network Twitter. Now, this weekend, the market was on fire. Bullish Network, keep pushing. ERD was up 10% right now. It's at 0.003. Well, this is around the same price that VeChain was at when we first identified VeChain. Now VeChain is at 0.09. No, it's at 0.009. Now Elron ERD is at 0.003. So shout out to the 100K ERD crew. Kona 2021. Bullzilla Hidden Gems on Fire was up 10% right there. And right here was up 3%. It started off with a slow pump, gaining momentum. And it started pumping 10% right there. Now, ERD right here was pumping 10% right there this weekend. This was June 13th, 2 days ago. One was pumping 8%. Harmony One, that's another one of our hidden gems right there. These are the Binance Launchpad tokens. And Cellular was pumping 16%. These are all my hidden recommended gems. And this was all before they started pumping this weekend. So Cellular right here, one. And basically, here's our favorites on our hidden gem list right here. BRD, which has a Ripple relationship, was pumping 7%. ERD was pumping 10%. Feet 3. Cellular was pumping 18%. 8%. Matic, which was one of our hidden gems from last year, just landed on Binance US. And these all will be on Binance US, I believe. ALGO was pumping, staking and baking on Binance US. BNB is definitely a must-have. And, of course, Kava Labs was also pumping. These are all our hidden gems right here, and they all have been doing very, very well. Binance launches new phase on Elron Network savings product. Now, basically, guys, here's the thing. These tokens are launching on Binance Launchpad. They're going to be promoted by Binance, which has over 1 million followers on Twitter and is the largest exchange in the world and the first exchange to get regulated U.S. approval for Binance US. So I believe the future is going to be one hell of a ride. You can use BUSD to pay with BitPay MasterCard in the US. Shout out to CZ right there. Right there. 3% on ERD. And Coinbase observing VChain. VChain's been on fire also. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Big time. I appreciate it. The Bullish Network Bull logo will come down. Smash that logo to subscribe to the channel. Smash that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe and notification bell. You will be notified when I release a video daily. Much love. Mahalo. Thank you for the support. This channel has been on fire. I can't thank you guys enough.